The following program does not have a normal intro. The following program does not have a normal intro because I was really too busy smoothing other things over to get it done. So, Ori, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I'm your host, Joe Neerman. Oh, following program. What are we talking about? Viewers' discretion. That was bad. Let's start that one over. Go back in time. 12 seconds earlier. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Viewers Discretion. I'm your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Logic. Now, you might have noticed I put down in the description, if you look at the description before the show, so I put down the description that I'm going to be covering a little spar that Vivek Ramaswamy had with Sean Hannity. There's certain things I thought were interesting about that, so I just wanted to cover that. After that, which is going to be a relatively short segment, I'm going to be transitioning over to locals. The show on locals will be free, completely free for everybody. I want people to sample. So that's why we're going to be switching over there. And I also feel like I don't want there to just be like this oversaturation of Middle East coverage. So since that was like a video that I wanted to watch, which I hadn't seen yet, and I wanted to watch that with you guys or the ones who are interested in additional Middle East coverage, I was like, you know what? Let me cover some American politics stuff that's happening. Quick show here, and then switch over to locals. So the link for the locals is down below. It will be a completely free show. I'm not going to make it supporters only. Anyone can watch it. I urge you to join us as we transition over there. But that's going to be some more Middle East coverage. I'm going to be watching a video which is called Free Palestine? No Thanks, which is already has 1.5 million views. It was shared with me by someone from my locals community. So there you go. You can come, you can not come. I would you can be like Kamala and say, don't come. You can be like Trump and say, I'm going to come. It's up to you. It's your call. I'm not forcing anyone. Just telling you what's going to happen and why I'm doing what. So there you go. And I will insert my intelligent trolling comment here. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So this is the story I wanted to cover with you guys here, which is from the Washington Examiner. Let's be up higher here. Ramaswamy spars with Hannity over Israel and Nikki Haley. I can watch the entire thing. Should we watch the entire thing? We should watch the entire thing. Let me see how long it is. Hold on a second. It's really there's a clip in there that I was planning on watching. Let me see how long the whole damn thing is. Sean. Yes. Oh, come on. Fonts. My apologies. I was really thinking I was just going to watch like 3 minutes of it, but I think I might want to do more. I think that the entire interview is probably like 10 minutes. And it's probably not that long. It's not working. It's a month ago. Come on, where are you? There's a local stream. There's a link down below. Dagnabbit. Why is this doing this? I need some background music. All right, maybe someone will drop a link to me for the entire interview. I'm gonna read through this. I'll read through it. I can't do this. It is a free local stream. Yes, it'll be completely free. It'll be free. It's free. Told you, I'm not forcing you. I'm not going to shorten this show tonight and then say, if you want to watch me, you have to pay. To me, that feels wrong. So I'm not going to do that, but I do want you to at least recognize that it exists and visit. And hopefully sign up. You can follow for free. Thank you for your trolling. I appreciate that. Dagnabbit. Is this the full thing?
All right, as this major foreign
Yeah, I think this is the full thing. I think this is it.
Policy crisis unfolds overseas, GOP presidential candidates, they're all weighing in. Vivek Ramaswamy released his 6-point plan to tackle the situation in Israel while taking shots at other candidates, specifically Nikki Haley. Now, Vivek is calling for intelligence and weapon sharing with Israel, the immediate appointment of an ambassador to Israel to end nuclear proliferation in the Middle East, the deportation of illegals here in the U.S. who have worked with Hamas, and much more. And Vivek Ramaswamy joins us now. I looked at your list, and the only disagreement I have is I don't really disagree on a lot of your points, but the intelligence sharing was unprecedented, and a coalition was formed when President Trump was in office, where it was the U.S., it was Israel, it was Egypt, it was Jordan, it was the Saudis, it was the Emirates, all standing united against Iranian hegemony in the region to prevent them from ever acquiring nuclear weapons. So we have had that before, Vivek.
Yeah, but not when it's supporting Israel.
Absolutely. And Sean, one of the things I've said is that while everybody else seems to say this is a question for later, I think this is a question for now.
See, I don't think that's a great point. I don't think that's a great point at all that Sean is making. Sean thinks it's like a powerful point. I don't think that's a great point, because just because they're against Iran becoming the dominant force in the Middle East, that doesn't mean that they're not completely supportive of Iran's work in attacking Israel. I'll tell you this much. If you ever play the game of Risk, the way you win the game of Risk is if you get two other entities to clash with each other. That's how you win. Now, I know it's a game. I understand that. It's just a game. A lot of dice rolls and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, I'm sure that Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, all of them are really happy to see Iran back the Palestinians and invest their money there. That doesn't mean that they want Iran to become some superpower with being the only one amongst them who has nuclear weapons. Those are two different fights. And it's like to say that, like, to imply that they're either always together or never together is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. You don't have to join with a credit card. You don't have to join the credit card. It doesn't make any, you don't have to.
We need to understand what the heck went wrong with both U.S. and Israeli intelligence, as well as Israeli defense. Think about an airplane. When it crashes, the black box is not analyzed by the airliner who was responsible for the crash. We need independent answers to that question. But my number one focus, Sean, is on one hand, we have to support Israel in the decisions that Israel makes to defend itself. They have a right to national self-existence, and what happened there was wrong and barbaric and medieval by Hamas. On the other hand, I'm the only Republican saying this. This is our also moment to be cool-headed, not emotional, but rational in our response to make sure that we don't inadvertently enter a U.S.-involved broader regional conflict in the Middle East that does not advance American interests. And I believe we can do
Totally
both
fine
of
with
those
everything
things
he
well.
just said.
But part of the reason I've criticized the Republicans is that the emotional
Everything he just said is completely rational. It's almost like he's like watching my show and getting talking points from me.
response, I think, is unhelpful, saying finish them, saying just do it. We need to be very specific about exactly what we're going to do. Cool-headedness in times of crisis is essential, and that's how I would lead as commander-in-chief.
If you look at this exponentially and you look at the population of Israel and the population of the U.S., it would be the moral equivalent of 30.
Yeah, but they don't. So I'm not sure if you're talking. I'm not sure if you're talking. I appreciate the heads up on that. I'm not sure if you're talking. There's no charge unless you become a subscriber. I don't know. They might require you to put a credit card in. There is no charge to your credit card. And I'll tell you something else about locals. Any payment I receive on locals can actually be like they actually hold off in giving it to creators for 2 weeks because they want to give people an opportunity who are wrongfully charged to withdraw the charge. So I'm telling you now, I don't want to take. I'm not trying to take anybody. I'm not trying to twist anyone or trick anybody into coughing up money. That's not what I'm looking for at all. Okay. If you'd like to join and subscribe, I welcome that. Obviously, that's the reason I have a locals community. It's in case this thing that I'm on now with YouTube ultimately dies. But it's not a necessary thing for anyone. Certainly not tonight. Now, it could be that to talk in there, you have to be a subscriber. That's definitely true. To watch me, you don't have to be. That could be. I haven't checked that out. That could be. I don't know that I don't think I can change that. It could be that to talk in there, you have to be a paying subscriber. I'm not sure.
6,000 Americans killed on our soil in a single day. What would you want America's response to be? Because I could tell you what I really predict is going to happen. Yeah. Gaza is going to be annihilated, and they're going to end Hamas's reign in Gaza. That will be over. And I don't think there's going to be much for people to go back to there.
I don't think that's what's going to happen, by the way. I don't think they're going to blow up Gaza. I don't think they're going to glass it. I don't even know what glass it means. I've heard people use that term over and over, glass it, which I think... if any of you know what glass it means, I'd love your feedback on that. I don't think that's the plan. I think that they are going to basically, though, hunt down every member of Hamas. I think that's what the plan is.
That is going to be Israel's decision to make, and we should support whatever decision they do make. I will tell you this, though, Sean. Now is the moment to remember we have made some of our own most disastrous decisions in the wake of tragedies, including after 9/11. Look at $3 trillion wasted in Iraq and Afghanistan. Thousands upon thousands of American lives sacrificed. To what end? The Taliban still in charge in Afghanistan 20 years later. A hostile anti-American regime in Iraq, vulnerable to Iranian incursion in Iraq today. So if I'm talking to Bibi, if I'm the president of the United States, I'm going to offer him both compassion, sympathy, support, but also our learnings to say, we've made mistakes in the United States in response to tragedy. We will share those lessons with you. Cool-headedness is important.
Should they offer bunker buster bombs to take out nuclear sites in Iran? Yes or no? I got to go.
I think the U.S. should offer Israel limited munitions to be able to defend itself against Hamas and the attacks. I think we should be very careful not to escalate into a broader regional war in the Middle East. Well, Sean, there's a lot of circumstances that are still changing, but the principle for me is no broader regional war while still supporting Israel's defense.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
That's not answering, and he has his stupid commercials all the time. So to heck with that. I can't. Glass, it means nuke it so hard the sand turns to glass. Oh! I actually tried looking up the phrase. I was Googling glass it and I don't remember if I checked Urban Dictionary, but I was like, I don't know what this means. I mean, I know it means decimate, but I didn't know in what capacity it meant that. So, all right, Ramaswamy spars with Hannity over Israel Nikki Haley. We're going to see a little clip of that, which I thought this was supposed to be a clip because that was 2 days old, that video. Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy and Fox News host Sean Hannity got into a heated spat during a Thursday evening interview over Ramaswamy's criticism of the conflict between Israel and Hamas, the terrorist group that launched a surprise attack against Israel on Saturday. Part of the discussion centered Ramaswamy calling out fellow 2024 GOP rivals, including former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley. In previous comments he made Tucker Carlson interview released on Tuesday. It is wrong what happened to Israel, and I call that out as a human being and as somebody who's on belief. Some people are on the right side and the wrong side of a conflict, he told Carlson. But the selective nature of ignoring certain other conflicts, while even more important, ignoring the interests of the U.S. right here at home, is what irritates the heck out of me. I don't think she's a child, he also said about Haley. I think that she's somebody that, like many politicians, is in a position to get wealthier from war. Hannity brought up the Carlson interview with Ramaswamy to ask for further clarification. You're saying that her concern for Israel is driven by financial and corrupting influence, Hannity said, and your explanation is that there's disproportionate focus on rape, kidnapping, and murder of Jewish people in this attack, and your quote, that there are frankly financial and corrupting influences that lead them to exactly to speak the way that they do. Sean, that is a shameful mischaracterization, right? Ramaswamy responded. So here we go. Let's go back. Let's go check out the interview itself. I don't want to read it to you. I want to watch it with you. Watching it is better.
Where if your campaign is principally being run by super PACs, people who can give unlimited amounts of money to your campaign, I don't think that befits the Republican Party. I think.
So here he's saying, I don't think that befits the Republican Party to have just massive donors who are propping you up. Obviously, one would think that if you have massive donors, that's leading you towards doing their bidding.
I think we need to be better than that. So, Sean, you and I may have a different view on that. But my view is, if you're making money off your time in government, then I don't think you're fit to be president of the United States. Well, more importantly, though, what's our policy? Stand with our allies while avoiding World War III. And that's where I'm at.
A lot of people don't think you're qualified because you weren't even a Republican or voting Republican until what, 2020?
So does that mean that okay. Look at his face there. Look at his face there.
Objectives with this interview are, I voted Libertarian in my first election. I voted Republican in 2020. You're right. I'm not a partisan hack. I come in from the outside.
I'll forgive you for your screw-up.
I'm an independent-minded patriot who speaks the truth.
It sounds to me like you just want to jump from the private sector yourself.
You also jumped on and off the Trump bandwagon. I mean, just stop. You're always on the right side of history here, Sean.
You made a lot of money. By the way, I applaud capitalism. I applaud successful people.
Sean, I applaud you for being so transparent about your objectives.
I actually think that people work in the defense of our country, in the defense industry, are playing a vital role for the cause of freedom. So I don't really call.
Really? A vital role for the cause of freedom. Look, I can admit the fact that you can't deny the fact that we need to have weapons to defend ourselves if we're going to remain free. That's definitely true. But that doesn't mean that people who sign up for it are motivated by some sort of noble glory, hallelujah type of motivation rather than the actual, which is what he's portraying it as.
Call it a corrupting influence or suggest that somehow that's a corrupting influence. I actually like the experience that goes along with working for defense contractors.
I like the experience that goes along with working for defense contractors. This is your classic neocon right here. I like the experience that goes along with someone who's quick to have a finger on the button and just go push, 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 push. Wow. Really? That's what Republican values are about, or how many people can we blow up? I mean, thank you for saying it out loud. Thank you for saying the quiet part out loud.
But I've got to listen.
One of the things I loved about that interview with Tucker, was we were actually able to have a thoughtful conversation and go deep into issues rather than this kind of political gotcha.
The point is this:
Good. You go
on these interviews. Yeah, I have nothing but nice things to say. But here's your problem.
No. His point is, in contrast, the way you're conducting this interview, where you're looking to try and do a hatchet job by saying you're not equipped to do this because you're not a Republican, and Sean and Nikki Haley's close ties to our defense industry somehow makes her more credible as a potential candidate is ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Go on these shows, people quote your exact words, and you deny your own words. And I'm saying if you're going to be a presidential candidate and you're going to spend, I'm going to give you your exact words.
He's out of his mind. I think he's lost his mind. He's just like, cuckoo, cuckoo. He's crazy. He's standing here on his show saying that a defense contractor somehow is more capable by working for the defense industry. That makes you more capable of being a good leader. That's lunacy.
Words, either own it,
Sean, you have been sitting here for years talking about the fake news media.
Did you play this all the time?
I'm enjoying this. You have been laughing about the fake news media how many times for the last several years, and now you're buying the mainstream media narrative when you know how corrupt it is.
I am following you. I am quoting your exact words.
Are a problem.
Did I not quote your exact words?
About Azerbaijan and Armenia.
Did I or did I not quote your exact words? Did I quote your exact words?
Azerbaijan and Armenia, absolutely.
Thank you.
About Azerbaijan, yes, you did.
Time to go.
About a different topic, Azerbaijan, where people should actually get their own information rather than filter through centralized media.
I think it's asinine to think somebody that worked in the defense industry should not be qualified to be president.
I think it's asinine for you to sit here saying that makes them qualified. That's far more asinine, way more asinine. To think that that's a feather in someone's cap, rather than something that should make us concerned that, hey, maybe they're owned by big corporation, is ridiculous. And I think he's crazy. I think he's really crazy. I think he's lost the plot. I don't know what the heck he's talking about. I don't understand anything. How do people, who's watching this? Are there still people who think like this, or are they just in Washington? I just want to know, are there still, like, what percentage of people do you think are still like this? That think that, like, the way that we show, you know what? I guess it's 35% of Americans who are all voting for, like, the collective group in the prime. 35% of Republicans who are all voting for the Haleys collectively, the DeSantis's and the Tim Scotts of the world, the Mike Pence's of the world. I guess so. I don't think many of them are here in my audience. But my God.
I think people that never held public office, like you, maybe they're not qualified to be president. And
yeah, that means you're bleeding. That means your side is losing. Thank God. Thank God. Seriously, so glad I never liked this guy at all. Never watched him. Never nothing. I know he was always a big voice, big name in the Conservative Party. Never. Anyway, I wanted to. There's one more thing I wanted to do here. Let me do this. Don't bring me down. Whoosh. Don't bring me down. All right, this is the link. This is where I'm going to be watching this video. It's probably going to take me like a little over an hour to do this. That's my estimation, but who knows? Who knows? I never know until I'm there. I'm pinning this message here. It's in the description. It's in the link. I'm going to put it in Rumble also. I'll put it in the chat there also because I love Rumble folks too. Can't pin it for you guys because they don't let me do that. But yeah, so I'm going to be wrapping my show up over here. And over there, I will be covering Free Palestine. I don't think so. Locals is freaking stupid. They're the best out there. That's what I got. Make them be better. We're trying. It takes a while. There's a lot of work. They're trying. They have a card on file, and I challenge that your second half is free. I'm not charging any money. I'm not charging any money at all. You do not need to watch the show. You do not need to pay any money. That's what I'm telling you. I know, England, I wish I could help you. I'm sorry. I need to start moving people over there. Yeah, look, I'll point this out to you, okay? No matter what I do, I get notices in comments in chat that they can't even write the words good logic in a chat elsewhere. Meaning, if you try typing in a chat good logic, the comment won't go into the chat. You can do it here because I'm here. But in other chats, like I was like, and I'm not surprised. I am so blacklisted here in YouTube. And this is where I'm bringing in like 85% of my revenue. And every day I lose, they knock off people. They unsubscribe people from me every single day. I have to have sufficient foresight that I can say to myself, you know what? At some point, they're probably going to take me down. That's what's going to happen. That's reality. So in order to help ensure that when that happens, while I know I will be struggling when that happens, that I have some sort of social media revenue coming in, I need to push people toward locals, because locals is never, I don't believe that locals will ever be censoring me, or they're never going to be suppressing me and never trying to alienate me from the public at large. And being free to be able to actually express myself without fear of repercussion from some company that's presenting my views, that's serving as a platform for me, is something that ultimately likely will prove invaluable to me. So I need to push people to at least try it out. That's what I gotta do. FYI's Wikipedia article, Political Positions of Donald Trump, that explains how Trump changed his affiliation 5 times between 1984 and 2002. I know, he bounced back and forth all in all. I'm not saying it's complicated. I'm walking you through what it is. I'm walking you through why I have to do what I have to do here. 1984 to 20. Okay. Yeah, and he bounced back and forth all the time. He changed his mind 1,000 times. You finally got my $5 a month. Woohoo! Thank you. All right. I gotta wrap this up here. England, I'm sorry. You know I love you, brother. I'll be back here tomorrow night. I'm not trying to take money from anyone for tonight's show on Locals. And I'm gonna be starting up there in like 3 minutes. So I hope to see you there. As always, a pleasure, my friends, and Goldspeed.